Our next topic is superposition theorem. According to this theorem, a circuit having number of resistances or batteries can be solved by leaving in the circuit each battery and imagining all other batteries are removed and are replaced by their internal resistances. First point is mark the direction of current in various sections. Now consider this circuit. Now consider only one source of EMF, that is this. Other source of EMF E2 is replaced by its internal resistance R2. Here we have replaced the EMF E2 by its internal resistance R2. So the diagram will be like this and the direction of currents will be like this. We have given another name I1 dash and I2 dash. Now consider E2 as source and replace E1 with its internal resistance R1. Now the another diagram will be like this. In this theorem, and we have given the names again, that is I1 double dash and I2 double dash. In this theorem, various currents can be determined by superimposing the currents. In first case, I1 is I1 dash minus I2 double dash because the directions are opposite. I2 is I2 dash minus I2 double dash, but I3 is I3 dash and plus I3 double dash. With the help of this theorem, we are replacing the battery sources by the internal resistance in both the cases and superimposing the currents. Now our next topic is maximum power transfer theorem. According to this theorem, when load is connected across voltage source, power is transferred from voltage source to load. Here the maximum power transferred is when the internal resistance is equal to load resistance. Consider E is the source, RL is load resistance and RI is internal resistance. The circuit is like this. According to Ohm's law, current is equal to voltage upon resistance. So from this circuit, voltage is E and resistance is internal resistance plus load resistance. When Ri is equal to RL, then power transfer will be maximum. This is the condition of this theorem. So we know that power is equal to I square into R. So I from this theorem, from the circuit of this theorem is V upon R, that is E upon Ri plus RL. Put this value of I in this formula, we get E over R plus Ri plus RL square into RL. To find the condition for maximum power transfer, differentiate the equation with respect to RL and put the equation to equal to 0. So derivative of power with respect to RL is equal to 0. By applying quotient rule, we are solving this and finally get the result, that is RL is equal to Ri. That is load resistance is equal to internal resistance. At this condition, the power transfer is maximum. Our next topic is Norton's theorem. According to this theorem, current passing through a resistance between two terminals of a network can be determined by replacing the entire network by an equivalent circuit of current source. This is the diagram for Norton's theorem. Here, first step is short circuit the two terminals across which resistance is connected and find IN, which is flowing from this circuit. That is called Norton's current. So by short circuiting this resistance, we replace the diagram like this and find the Norton's current which is flowing in this area. Norton's current is E over R1, V over R. From V over R we are getting this Norton's current. Now next point is replace the battery source by its internal resistance. In this case, internal resistance is 0. So by replacing the circuit like this, we have get this. So resistance in this case is, we are considering these two resistances in series and in parallel with this, we are getting this formula. So now connect Rn and RL in parallel across current source. And finally, the load current is available using this relation, that is Norton current multiplied by load resistance over Rn, that is Norton's resistance, plus load resistance. This is the final result. With the help of this formula, we can calculate the load current. Our last topic from this chapter is conversion of circuits from delta to star and star to delta in DC circuits. Here we are considering delta circuit and here we are considering our star circuit. In delta connection, the resistances we are taking as the resistance between terminals 1 and 2 is R12, resistance between the terminals 2 and 3 R23, and resistances between the terminals 1 and 3 is R31. The resistances in star connection are R1, R2 and R3. Now we are solving for delta connection. Resistance between terminals 1 and 2. Now first of all consider R31 and R23 are in series and in parallel with this. The resistance which we are going to find, consider that resistance in parallel and rest two are in series. So we are going to find R12 first and we are considering these two in series and in parallel with this. We are getting this formula. Now similarly for solving R23, we are considering these two resistances in series and in parallel with this resistance. We get this formula. Now we are solving for R31. We are considering these two resistances in series and in parallel with this we have get this last for R31. Now how to solve for star connection? For star connection, sum of resistances R1 and R2 is equal to R2, 3 and 3, 1 in series and in parallel with this. We have get this. Similarly for R2 plus R3 and similarly for R3 plus R1. We have got 1, 2 and 3 equations. Now subtract second equation from first equation. These two subtract second from first and add the result we have got from this, add to third equation. Now after subtracting we have got this one. After subtraction we have got this R1 minus R3. And we are going to add this to third equation. And finally we have got R1 is equal to R12 R31 over R12 plus R23 plus R31. Similarly solve for R2 and R3. So for star connection we have got these three resistances. And for delta connection we have got these values. So resistances for star connection, resistance of each arm in star connection, resistance of each arm is equal to product of two delta connected sides divided by the sum of three delta connected resistances.